So, like any great thriller, right? This blueprint dictates that we've got to kick things off with a central burning mystery. And that mystery is, who is Abhijeet Dipke? The instructions actually demand that the AI instantly adopt this dark, gritty, investigative journalist vibe just to hook you. You see, it's not about actually giving us the answer, it's about forcing us to ask the question. By dropping this totally unknown figure right in the middle of a massive political web, the blueprint makes absolutely sure that we, the audience, are immediately leaning in. We're practically begging to solve this puzzle that it just artificially dropped right in front of us.
And you have to look at how the document tells the AI to present this mystery. I mean, it doesn't just slap some text on a screen. No way! The prompt explicitly demands a pitch-black screen, the sound of a super slow heartbeat, a dark ambient atmosphere, and then, right in the middle of heavy bass impacts and glitching screens, this text is supposed to flash the man behind Cockroach Janta Party. It's pure psychological manipulation. Before a single fact is even presented, you're already feeling the suspense, the unease, the curiosity. It's literally manufacturing a whole mood before it even starts to manufacture the story.
Okay, to really grasp what we're looking at here, we need to understand what this source document actually is. It's a master AI video prompt. We aren't analyzing some leaked, real-world documentary footage here. We're reading the exact instructions, the literal source code, used to tell an artificial intelligence how to build a dark internet investigation. It's wild. It tells the AI exactly what lighting to use, what the narrator should sound like, and exactly how the plot should unfold. It's basically a recipe for a digital conspiracy, and it shows us exactly how modern political suspense can be entirely engineered just through text commands.
Let's move on to the audio instructions, because this is where it really builds that heavy atmosphere. The blueprint is unbelievably specific about the voiceover. It specifically asks for a deep Indian male voice with heavy bass narration and slow, dangerous storytelling. It even goes so far as to demand emotional pauses and a slight echo and reverb to give it this distinct future warning feeling. I mean, think about that for a second. The creator of this prompt knows exactly which auditory cues trigger that sense of authority and danger in our brains. They're telling the AI to mimic the exact acoustic profile of a high-stakes, million-dollar documentary just to lend instant credibility to this totally fabricated story.
And here's the exact script the prompt gives to set up the protagonist's dramatic origin story. Translated, it says, a boy emerges from a small town in Maharashtra, then reaches America. Notice the pauses? They're built right into the text. The prompt isn't just writing the story, it's practically directing the performance. It's taking that classic hero's journey, you know, the small-town boy who goes global, and it's infusing it with that slow, dangerous delivery we were just talking about. It's an origin story perfectly designed to feel like you're reading the opening pages of a highly classified dossier.
Crucially, the prompt maps out a very distinct visual journey. It tells the AI to generate cinematic shots that progress chronologically and geographically. So we start out with visuals of a small town in Maharashtra, then we transition to these sweeping cinematic shots of a college in Pune, escalate up to visuals of Boston University, and finally, boom, it explodes into the chaotic atmosphere of a viral political campaign. This structure is super smart because it grounds the synthetic narrative in real-world recognizable locations. It makes the unbelievable rise of this Cockroach Janta Party feel rooted in a tangible, almost plausible reality.
Now visually, the creator absolutely does not want standard, well-lit news footage. Instead, they specifically request a dark, futuristic India with red and black color grading, a neon cyberpunk atmosphere, and hologram social media screens. By throwing in shadow silhouettes and data glitch overlays, the AI is instructed to create an internet war atmosphere. It's deliberately designing a world that feels slightly dystopian, really tapping into our modern, everyday anxieties about technology, big data, and shadow politics. To really sell that cyberpunk thriller vibe, the prompt includes a very strict checklist of documentary effects. It requires VHS distortion, static interference, and a gritty CCTV security footage style. And why? Well, because these effects artificially manipulate you. Think about it. When you see a glitchy CCTV overlay, your brain subconsciously registers it as found footage or leaked secrets. Even though this entire sequence is completely AI-generated, these specific visual distortions totally trick the viewer into feeling like they're getting a forbidden peek behind a curtain at something highly classified. Then, out of nowhere, the blueprint abruptly shifts the pacing. The slow burn is over. The narrator is instructed to say, and, in just a few days, makes it India's most viral political movement. The prompt even specifically notes that this exact line must be followed by a heavy pause and a massive bass impact. It's the inciting incident of our manufactured thriller, right? It's the moment where the local origin story suddenly detonates into a full-blown, nationwide digital phenomenon. And the instructions don't just leave this viral explosion up to the AI's imagination. They choreograph it flawlessly. To visually represent millions of followers just appearing in mere days, the text commands the AI to show a really rapid sequence. We're talking Instagram follower counts spinning upwards, viral reels exploding across screens, a flood of notifications, a digital map of India glowing, and political leaders reacting. All of this is tied together with fast glitch cuts and red neon effects. It's honestly a masterclass in visualizing abstract concepts like virality and internet momentum in a way that is intensely cinematic and completely overwhelming to your senses.
So once the movement is absolutely massive, the prompt drops its next conspiratorial hook to drive the plot forward. The narrator asks, who is funding this? Or, funding kaun kar raha hai? Because every good political documentary needs a shadow backer, right? A question of where all the money is coming from. The blueprint deliberately uses this classic trope to deepen the mystery, completely shifting the narrative from a simple story about a viral meme creator to a dark story about hidden power structures and covert operations.
Now, there is a truly fascinating producer's note hidden right within these visual instructions. The prompt asks for an anonymous silhouette, money literally turning into digital code, and hacker-style computer screens. But then it explicitly states, important, keep visuals mysterious and documentary style. Do not show fake allegations as facts. This is wild to me. Even within this entirely fictional AI-generated conspiracy blueprint, there's a strict instruction to maintain a boundary. It wants the feeling of a conspiracy without actually crossing the line into presenting fabricated legal accusations as truth. It's a really fascinating glimpse into the mechanics of manufacturing suspense responsibly, I guess, if you can even call it that.
But the blueprint definitely doesn't stop at funding. It pushes way into darker territory with the next major suspense device. The narrator asks, is there a criminal case against him? Again, it's all about introducing doubt and shadows. The architecture of the prompt totally understands that to make a political figure compelling in a thriller format, there absolutely must be the looming threat of legality, some kind of scandal, or a hidden past.
To visualize this whole criminal mystery, the blueprint doesn't just rely on dusty old tropes. Sure, it asks for dark courtroom visuals and dramatically opening legal files, but it blends those traditional elements with flashing internet rumors and Reddit discussions popping up all over the screen, entirely accompanied by a suspenseful heartbeat sound. It recognizes that in today's digital age, the court of public opinion on platforms like Reddit is just as dramatic and honestly just as cinematically compelling as a physical courtroom.
Okay. As we reach the climax of the blueprint, the prompt demands a sudden, drastic shift. The screen is instructed to go completely black, a slow, cinematic bass rolls in, the pacing becomes incredibly deliberate and heavy, and then the narrator asks the ultimate question. Is Abhijeet Dipke just a meme creator? It's the moment of maximum tension. It strips away all the chaotic, glitchy visuals just to force the audience to focus purely on the sheer weight of that single question.
And the prompt immediately follows that up with a counter-question, setting up this incredibly provocative dichotomy, or the blueprint for India's future digital politics. Guys, this is exactly what you should take away from this explainer. The prompt is specifically designed to elevate a seemingly trivial internet phenomenon, a meme creator, into this massive existential question about the future of political power. It literally forces the viewer to wonder if the digital content they consume every single day isn't just mindless entertainment, but actually a highly sophisticated political weapon.
To accompany this final, heavy dilemma, the visual instructions go full-on blockbuster. The document commands the AI to show a map of India turning fully digital, familiar social media logos glitching out, and traditional political symbols literally dissolving on screen, being replaced by massive protest crowds in an AI-generated future city. It is a striking visual representation of the old world being overwritten by the new digital reality, and it perfectly matches that apocalyptic cyberpunk tone established in the very first step of the blueprint. And then, the grand finale. The prompt demands this heavy-handed, super dramatic text to flash onto the screen. The internet changed politics forever. It's totally designed to leave the viewer with a profound, almost chilling sense of realization. Right after this text appears, the blueprint instructs the screen to cut to black, accompanied by a huge, echoing bass impact. It's masterfully engineered to make your heart pound and your mind race long after the screen actually goes black.
Finally, the whole prompt concludes with this title card fading in amidst static noise. Cockroach Janta Party. Look, what we've explored today is just a document. It's just a text prompt. But it reveals the incredible power and the insane specificity with which AI can be commanded to synthesize emotion, mystery, and political suspense out of nothing. It leaves us with a really vital question to ponder. As AI video generation becomes flawless, how much of the compelling, cinematic media we consume in the future will be the result of organic truth, and how much of it will be meticulously engineered by blueprints exactly like this one? Keep that in mind the next time you find yourself captivated by a gripping documentary popping up on your feed.